Mitsubishi Shogun, Off-Road Tow Car of the Year for 1991.
Happiness is a cigar called Hamlet, the mild cigar.
It ain't half a bar.
With a 3-year unlimited mileage warranty, you can keep on running.
Norm and Dolly Hostetler. They've seen a few football games in their time. Jeff Hostetler's brothers, Ron, Doug, and Todd, all played football at Penn State. Their daughter-in-law is the daughter of West Virginia coach Don Neyland. They're looking on as their son has a first down at the 25-yard line. Retreats to throw, and then Carthen can't handle it. Had a stretch for it, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 of the 25 with 1:50 left on the clock and 2 timeouts remaining for New York.
Maurice Carthen, as good a runner and blocker as he is, you do not necessarily want him handling the football. If you watched the 49er game last week, dropping the certain touchdown in the end zone, mishandling another one, but he brings much more than that to this team. One of the best blocking backs in the league.
I think the reason he dropped it last week is Meggett threw it, right? Maybe he was considering the source.
Meggett should have thrown that one. That ball was way high.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line. Smith is taken out of the play, and he comes right back to Carthen for a 4-yard gain to the 21. Shane Conlon makes the stop. Clock keeps rolling. 1:38 left. Going to be 3rd and about 7.
Well, this is where the Giants so many times are prone to call a bootleg with Jeff Hostetler. Cornelius Bennett told us that anytime that bootleg comes, he expects it to come his way, away from Bruce Smith. And you can see for yourself, Bill Parcells wants to take a timeout.
Clock runs down to 1:13. Giants have 1 timeout left in the half. They trail 12-3.
Danny, that first pass by Hostetler there, you weren't very happy with him, were you?
Oh, well, no, I'll tell you what, it's tough sometimes to throw over linemen, but he should have completed that pass, would have put him in a good position on 2nd down. He didn't complete it. It was 2nd and 10. Now they're 3rd and 7, and it's making it tough for him.
On that play, you said what you felt like he should have just held back, let the guy go up, lift his arm up, and then when he's coming down, throw the pass.
Well, maybe move to one side a little bit just to let that guy clear, because he had a lot of time, and he saw that it was zone defense. Everybody was pushed off, and just dump it. Take your time. The guy was there for him.
Yeah, we said earlier he had a play where maybe he should have taken it around on the outside and done something. Kenny, now they're in a 3rd and 6 situation. Again, they're in the red zone. We'd like to see them score 7, or I should say Bill Parcells would like to see them score 7.
Sure, like Danny and I were saying, you know, I think to come out of there with any points right now, it's going to be a plus and go in on a positive note. Their defense is hanging in there. The entire offense staying with the game plan, hanging in there. It's still a good close ball game here. It's anybody's game.
All right, well, we're going back to the field, and this is a big play for the New York Giants.
1 minute 13 seconds remaining in the first half. Buffalo on top 12-3. And the Giants with the football at the 21-yard line. 3rd and 7. Cross in motion. Hostetler to throw. Open man at the 15-yard line is Cross, and he has enough for the first down after he gets up, moves forward. Odoms makes the tackle, and they'll move the chains.
Cross was just let free off the line of scrimmage. No backer with him, and he had just about lost it when he dove for the ball, and there wasn't any Bill close enough to keep him from spinning and making certain of the first down. Yeah, Hostetler has just been off in throwing the ball. That might have been a touchdown if he threw it and leg crossed.
39 seconds and 1 timeout. Hostetler has it batted down. Cornelius Bennett leaping up and volleyballing it to the turf.
But again, Hostetler is rolling the way the Bills are expecting it. They are expecting Hostetler to roll towards Bennett away from Bruce Smith. And Bennett sees this right off the bat, moves, look at it, look at the angle he's taking, and times his leap perfectly.
When I say volleyball, I mean spike it.
Right. Yeah, that angle that you saw Bennett take comes from looking at a lot of tape, a lot of films, and that was a very good move on his part. He took the complete roll away from Hostetler, and then, being the great athlete he is, was able to get up and bat it down. They're going to have to roll the other direction towards Smith a couple times at least.
2nd and 10. Pressure on Hostetler, but he throws too low. Intended for Stephen Baker, who went to the turf, but the pass skipped to him. 3rd down.
And that's a touchdown if it's a good throw. He was open. Baker was open for a moment, and Hostetler was late getting there to begin with, and then tried to squeeze it in. The coverage was there with Mark Kelso. That's the Ron Earhart, the offensive coordinator, works on it. The perfect coverage for the pass route called. It's just the ball severely underthrown. Kelso is way behind Baker. No chance to prevent a touchdown with a good throw. There's the brain trust. Ron Earhart far right for you.
Offensive coordinator of the Giants. 3rd down, 10 at the 14. 30 seconds remaining in the half. Hostetler throws. Touchdown. Stephen Baker.
And he beats the main man, Nate Odoms. And that was a perfect throw. After 3 or 4 poorly thrown balls, Jeff Hostetler hits one right where it's supposed to be. And maybe more importantly, he had time to throw the ball. A breaking pattern to the outside, all the way to the outside, takes a lot of time. Look at the protection he gets. Jumbo Elliott doing a job on Smith. And then right on target is Hostetler to Baker, beating Nate Odoms.
They're going to review it because the umpire has just signaled for a stoppage.
Let's watch the feet closely of Stephen Baker. There's, he's in.
Yeah,
that's easy. That's excellent work by Baker. That's a touchdown all the way.
One clearly down, and he's
after further review of instant replay, the play stands. Touchdown.
A very quiet night for the replay officials. And that's nice.
That's an 87-yard drive for the Giants. Barr tries to put them within 2. Hostetler puts it down, and the difference in the game right now is a safety. 25 seconds remaining in the half. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. He is known as.
So a superb drive by the New York Giants. Interestingly, our American match commentators were saying a couple of bad passes there by Hostetler. I'm looking at Danny and saying, well, what do you think? And Danny's saying the exact opposite. And then you both laughed when he threw the touchdown because you called it.
Well, I think really what the situation is he was struggling a little bit, but he kept getting his confidence, and this was great for him to be able to move down the field and score, and they go into halftime only down by 2 points right now.
And then you guys said they threw everything at him. They started blitzing him. He read the blitz. He threw it out to a one-on-one touchdown to the New York Giants. This is the great game. There's 2 points in it. Let's go back to the field.
25 seconds remaining in the first half. Super Bowl 25 in Tampa. 12-10 Buffalo.
Talked about the size of Meggett at 5'7". Out on the flag, Stephen Baker goes 5'8". But he has extraordinary speed that the defender has got to take into account when he tries to cover him.
Marv Levy, and next to him, Ted Marchibroda, their offensive coordinator. Bills have all of their timeouts left, but no time to use them because we have only 25 ticks. Clock starts as soon as a Bill touches the ball. Matt Barr sends it to the 4-yard line. Juggled, picked up by Don Smith. He comes back out to the 13-yard line. Renee Thompson, who will be going to the Pro Bowl as a special teamer, makes the tackle. And you would think Buffalo will be content just to run out the clock and go into the locker room with a 2-point advantage.
Yeah, given the mishandling of the football and the poor field position, I wouldn't expect the Bills to run the risk of letting their quarterback take a hit by standing in the pocket to throw a deep pass. But even if it's a long ball that's intercepted, it's still only going to take one play for the Giants and maybe only like 15 yards to get into field goal range. So it's not worth it.
No. For the Giants, that long drive is something nice that they can take into the locker room. A lot better than going in 12-3, I can assure you. And all of a sudden they were able to move the ball against the defense, something they've struggled to do all night long, and they moved it well. It'll give them quite a lift.
So Kelly ends the first half with a kneel down. The Buffalo Bills lead 12-10. When the Giants won the Super Bowl 4 years ago, people forget, even though they routed Denver, the Giants went into the locker room that day trailing Denver 10-9 and came back to win it 39-20. So the Bills lead by 2 at the half. Ben, we'll send you over to Brent Musburger.
And Allie,
well, instead of Brent Musburger, you get Mick Luckhurst. What a great first half. I hope all of you at home are sensing the excitement in this stadium. It's unbelievable. It's electric. First, before we throw it anywhere else, guys, your initial thoughts on this first half. Danny first with the Buffalo Bills.
Well, I think Buffalo, really, they missed some opportunities. They've been moving the ball real well offensively. Defensively, they've been playing very good. But the thing is, the Giants just kept hanging in there, and something good happened to them. Now they're only winning by 2 points, and they have their work cut out for them.
And the unusual thing was we saw Andre Reed drop a couple of passes. He's all pro. He doesn't normally do that. Kenny, how about the New York Giants?
Well, as Dan said, I think it's a matter of hanging in there. You know, they keep doing what they're going to do. They're going to stay with that running game and a little play pass and throw the ball here and there and just staying with it. And the defense finally got to stop the Bills for a while, and then they got their offense. Big play out of Otis Anderson to get them down there. A couple big runs out of Meggett. Staying with what they want to do, staying with it. Too early to abandon your game plan.
Well, we'll be talking more about what happened in the first half, but now we are going to go and find what is literally our roaming reporter. Gary?
Now, you may not recognize any of the players around me, but this is a big day for them. If it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for the players out on the field, then the same goes for all the children back here. 2,000 of them from around the Tampa Bay area, and they are the stars of the halftime show here. 13 minutes long, staged by Disney, so it should be spectacular. The only problem, as far as their mums and dads are concerned, is that the one place this won't be seen, because of the war coverage, is in America. So this is an exclusive for the other 750 million viewers around the world.
Thanks, Gary. I know that Gary is down there and feeling great. That's the first time he's walked in there with a bunch of football players and been taller than everyone else. We're going to be back in a little bit after this commercial. We're going to have our halftime entertainment, so don't go away.
When you're working up a hunger, there's only one real McCoy. Extra thick for the biggest, crunchiest home-style chips with a whole lot more potato taste. The real McCoy, the big chip from the big country.
Last year, NatWest helped over 150,000 people launch small businesses. That's more than any other bank. Let NatWest help put your idea into action. Call in at any high street branch and see a small business advisor, or call free on 0800 777 888. NatWest, the Action Bank.
Will your next car have a fully zinc galvanized body with 10-year anti-corrosion warranty? Call Audi on 0800 585 685 to make sure.
Well, baby, I'm thinking about your chocolate. Well, baby, I'm thinking about your taste. Well, baby, I'm thinking about your chocolate. Thinking about your taste.
High yield, low trust funds, timeshare eternity bonds, index linked to a gold-edged gilt complex. Yep. Finance is a complicated animal, Mostyn.
Really? It's nothing like that at the Alliance and Leicester.
Mm-hmm.
No, they make investing simple.
Do they? Do they?
Yes. They pay a good rate of interest in all their accounts.
Uh-huh.
Your money's safe.
Really?
And with their Cash Plus account, you can pay your bills over the phone.
Do they really? What? You mean... Mostyn, what kind of a person do you think falls for a cheap gimmick like that?
Probably the sort of person who hasn't just glued all his fingers together.
You get a smarter investor at the Alliance and Leicester.
Welcome back, everybody, in beautiful Tampa Bay. We've got a great game going, 12-10 to the Buffalo Bills. Guys, this game has had its ups and downs, emotional turns, and teams going, whoa, we've got it, and Buffalo taking that lead later in the first half. But first it started off really with the James Lofton pass, a 61 pass from Jim Kelly to James Lofton. It was tipped. Danny, what did you think of that at that time in the game? It was 3-0 to the Giants.
Well, I think like Kenny said earlier is the fact that they were trying to stretch the defense. They had some problems on their first possession. I guess Kelly said, let's just try to go deep on them, get them to soften up a little bit so we can throw the ball underneath. And as you see right here, basically they just he just drops back, tries to look off the safety, and just unloads it, and Lofton just goes deep. And really the DB made a pretty decent play by getting his hand on it, or else it would have been a clean touchdown.
Yeah, and like we say, it's to stretch the defense. They're playing all those crossing things underneath that Buffalo does so well. A good idea, throw the ball down the field, whether it's complete or not. It serves a purpose to stretch the defense out a little bit.
Every now and then, it's good just to line up and say, hey, go deep. Just try to get the guy deep, take a chance at it.
And the thing that you pointed out after this play, Danny, was that the Giants defense hung in there. It was a big play against them, but they held them. They had to kick a field goal. That made it 3 apiece.
Well, that's really been, I think, the theme of the Giants in the first half is the fact that they haven't given up the big play. They have given up some big plays, but they really haven't given up a lot of points. So they only gave them 3 points in that particular situation.
But then the Buffalo Bills actually had a great drive, didn't they? They put everything together. Thurman Thomas started running the ball well. Jim was moving around well in the pocket and getting some passes off, and that ended up with a touchdown for the Buffalo Bills.
I think it was a matter of the Bills seeing what the Giants were going to do to that no-huddle thing, you know, with the 2 down linemen and all the linebackers, and figuring out what they wanted to do. Result, a good drive, and they get the good lead block right here from Mueller, and the touchdown right there, which culminated a very good Bills drive, which was all Bills first half until the last drive the Giants get the ball.
And this game really is a lot about emotions, isn't it? And at that point, we're all sitting here and we're saying, right now, the Buffalo Bills are in control and they're looking great. And then, boom, what happens? They get a safety. That's another big play. Again, emotion back to Buffalo and staying with Buffalo.
Well, this could have been a lot worse, actually. Hostetler trips over Otis Anderson, and you see right here, Bruce Smith sees he got a chance to strip the ball and almost strips the ball, and they could have scored a touchdown. The Giants come out luckily and only gave up a safety on that play.
I'm sure if that was you, you wouldn't have said luckily. You'd have said a great play. I managed to hold on the ball.
I wouldn't have tripped.
Be running with it.
Yeah.
But then we're sitting here, and then, Dan, prophetically, you say something has got to happen. The Giants need a big play, and this really set everything up for the Giants. It was O.J. Anderson, wasn't it?
Well, I think at that point when they weren't doing anything, Hostetler was struggling a little bit. They needed some confidence. They needed something good to happen to them. And right here, they just so stubborn. They keep running the ball ball, running the ball. Finally, something cracks open for him right up the middle. Otis Anderson gets a big play for him and starts them on that drive that they need to have before halftime.
They were 9 points down at that stage, and the commentators were saying Hostetler wasn't throwing it as well as he should. Wasn't doing this, wasn't doing that. Both of you were saying, wait a minute, that's a quarterback. He's doing a good job. He's building confidence, and he really was, wasn't he?
Well, just hanging in there, not abandoning what they were doing. You know, they got the big run out of Anderson. They got a couple of good runs out of Meggett, a couple little short passes. Methodically worked the ball down in there, expecting the man-to-man coverage down inside 10, 15-yard line, get the man-to-man coverage, and he makes the play for the touchdown.
You know, the thing that I was surprised about was 3rd and 10, okay, in the Buffalo Bills blitz, actually, on this play right here, where usually they would play zone and just try to keep them from getting the first down. They take a chance and blitz and get burned for a touchdown. That was an excellent play.
So right now, the Giants needed that, didn't they, at the half? They were going in, now they're down by 2. And if I don't know behind you, if you can, behind me, if you can hear what's going on, Walt Disney is putting on a halftime show, and we're now going to go down to the field and see exactly what's going on. And there's some of Gary's mates.
The Steelers are rough, the Broncos are tough. Go, 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 the LA Rams. Slam it, the New York Jets. Jam it, the Dolphins, the Redskins. We need a hero. We need a hero.
Did you ever know that you're my hero and everything I would like to be? I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Tonight, the real heroes are in the Middle East protecting peace for all of us kids. You were the one I looked up to. That's my way. I always learn from watching you. And when you had faith in all the glory, you still had the time to be my friend. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know I would be nothing without you.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are some very special guests at tonight's game. Representing every one of our 50 states and all branches of our armed forces are children of some of the brave Americans who have been deployed through Operation Desert Storm in the Persian Gulf. Please welcome them as we honor their mothers and fathers who proudly serve our country. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Good evening from the White House to everyone in the Sunshine State and around the world enjoying this wonderful game.
What a pleasure it is to say hello to all the young people on the field tonight. Looking at you, it's easy to see why America can count on a bright and hopeful future.
Well, that's right. And you make us all very proud. But today we should recognize the men and women in our armed forces. Far away from home, they protect freedom in the Persian Gulf and around the world. And just as we salute these brave Americans, let's remember their families on the field with you today in Tampa. To the children of these men and women, let me say that as this and every day draws to a close, it's your mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, who are the true champions, the true heroes in our country. Not only do they have the heartfelt thanks and gratitude of this president, but of all Americans as well.
On behalf of the whole Bush family, thank you for allowing us to be with you tonight.
And God bless you all, and God bless all freedom-loving people around the world.
And now, our grand finale. From all of us at Walt Disney World to everyone watching today, a wish for peace throughout this, our small, small world.
Hi, everybody! It's great to be here at the Super Bowl!
And now, to honor our Armed Forces children, Coca-Cola proudly presents the new Kids on the Block.
Picture of me all the time. Hey girl, your smile. Got to know that you drive me wild. Step by step. Oh baby, you're always on my mind. Step by step. Oh girl, really think it's just a matter of time. Step one.
We can have lots of fun.
Step two. There's so much we can do. Step three. It's just you and me. Step four. I can give you more. Step five. Don't you know that the time has arrived? This one's for the children. The children of the world. This one's for the children. May God keep them in His throne.
Oh, what a great halftime show that was. A lot of effort went into that, and along with everyone else from Cheerleader Productions, I know our thoughts and prayers are with all the Allied troops out there in the Middle East and their children that are still at home. We'll be back after this commercial.
Our lady here needs a £1 coin for her parking meter, but she's only going to give 90 pence in return. We'll be back in a minute to see what happens.
Awfully clever, those Greek philosophers. Well, they spoke Greek, didn't they? Like natives. There was that Archimedes bloke who jumped in the bath and shouted Eureka. Water too hot, I expect. No, you see, he discovered you could tell how light this whisper was just by dropping it in the bath. It would have melt, wouldn't it? No, it's theoretical. You see, he lived in 247 BC. BC? Before Cadbury's. Oh, what a shame. He was very philosophical about it.
Whisper. Enlightenment from Cadbury.
90p.
I give you a £1.
Yes, I'm giving you 90 pence.
Why?
Because it's only 10 pence.
Sorry, I don't believe it. I give you a £1 and you give me 90 pence change.
Well, it's only 10 pence.
So what? I don't give 10 pence away to everybody at me.
Isn't it strange that we'll argue the toss over 10 pence, yet we may waste far more by not having the right bank account? Now all Midland current accounts can sweep surplus cash straight into a high-interest savings account.
Leave this, just give me the 10 pence you've got there.
Telford. A better place to live and work. The success story continues.
Go on, light a real fire.
British Telecom now introduce the world's most advanced range of digital phone systems, Meridian. An integrated range designed to meet the needs of businesses worldwide, whether large or small. The Meridian family. Now available in the UK. Only from British Telecom.
Welcome back, everybody. The halftime score, 12-10 to the Buffalo Bills over the New York Giants. Kenny, something that we've noticed over the last few games, and, well, really all season, the New York Giants, they have this unbelievable ability of stopping offenses scoring on them. We saw them against the San Francisco 49ers last week, holding them down. Now the Buffalo Bills, they're holding them to 12 points. Last week we saw them thrash the Oakland Raiders, I should say LA Raiders. You remind me of the Oakland Raiders. What is it that makes them so good?
I think it's a couple of things, Mick. I think, for one, I think their defense is very, very talented. Strong up front, great set of linebackers, play very well, put a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks, create long yardage situations, and then bring that big pass rush. And the other thing is they play ball control offense. And ball control offense, you dictate and dominate time of possession in your favor. Other team doesn't get as many shots at it. So I think it's a combination of a very, very tough defense and a ball control offense.
Danny, now I want to come to you, and our British audience back home, they often hear about a quarterback. He comes out of the huddle, he steps up to the line, he looks around, and he reads the defense. And I know there's a lot of them saying, what on earth does he do when he's reading the defense? What does that mean, and what are you looking for?
Well, basically, like for today, for example, Jim Kelly, when he comes out of the huddle, where they don't line up on the ball, he sees where the defensive backs, the defensive linemen are positioned. He calls a play, he comes to the line of scrimmage and see if that play is going to work. And then after the snap, he takes the snap, then he'll look at the safeties, read the linebackers by what direction they're going. If they're playing zone coverage by dropping off, or if they're going to play man-to-man, one-on-one coverage. And he'll read that, then make his decision either where to throw the ball, or if it's a running play, where he's going to run it. If it's offset one way, or if defensive line's offset the other, if the running play will work. So he makes that decision after the snap of the ball.
All right, we've got a minute and a half or so to talk before the second half kickoff. Danny, I'm going to first come back to you. Second half, what do you expect to see the Buffalo Bills do? They're leading by 2 right now. Obviously, that's not a big cushion.
Well, yeah, and I tell you what, this has been a very solid football game all the way around. They're really playing into the Giants' hands. The game is, because it's more of a ball control game right now, and the Bills have been doing a good job of moving the football. They just haven't had them big plays to put them in the end zone. And really, like we were talking about, the Giants have been hanging in there, and the Bills just need to come up with some big plays offensively and get that momentum back that they kind of lost there near the end of the first half.
Kenny, I'll come to you with the same question about the Giants.
Well, I don't think we'll see very much different. I think what they've done against the Bills has been very successful on defense. I don't see them changing an awful lot of things. Offensively, they're not going to change either. They never do. It's going to be that very conservative, run the ball, try to get some good field position out of it, get down in there where you can anticipate a man-to-man coverage, and then throw the ball against man-to-man once you get down there. I see very little changes the second half.
Is there any one player that you would point out as we go into the second half? Is it going to be O.J.? Do you think Meggett might have more of a say in the second half?
I don't think so. I think it's a combination of all of them. You know, Hostetler's going to have to make plays on third down. The receivers are going to have to get open. They're going to have to run the ball when they need to run the ball. And I don't think one person jumps out at you. I think it's a team situation, offensively and defensively.
Last week, we were doing the program, and we pointed up Lawrence Taylor. And we said, well, Lawrence Taylor hasn't done a whole lot yet. And suddenly came out the very next play, smack, a sack. And then he takes the ball, the fumble from Craig, and he sets up the winning field goal. Is Lawrence Taylor going to be a factor in the second half?
Well, I think one thing you have to look at is, I was talking about how it's been a solid football game. There hasn't been any turnovers. I look for the team that turns the ball over in the second half is the team that might be coming up on the losing end. And Lawrence Taylor's the kind of guy that can create those big plays and cause turnovers for the Giants.
He really is a great player, isn't he? It's amazing how, it's uncanny how he does that.
Well, he's just a big play guy. You know, he's the kind of guy on defense similar to Bruce Smith that could come up with, like the safety that we saw in the first half, come up with that big play that might change the game one direction or the other.
Kenny, did you have a player like that you would turn to and say, right, pal, it's your turn, you've got to make something happen because I'm trying to do it on own and it's not happening?
Well, our guys, you know, on defense when I was playing, was a guy like Ted Hendricks. Ted Hendricks was not a very good cover guy, but he was very good at forcing fumbles. A guy who was always around the ball. When the ball was fumbled, the guy that happened to fall on it, the guy that tipped it up, somebody else intercepted the ball. Hendricks was very good at that when I was playing.
I've got to come back to you, Kenny. We've got a minute or so now to talk. The Hall of Fame, you were honored in that you were on the nominee for the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, you weren't voted into that. Were you disappointed?
Oh no, I think just being nominated is a great feeling, to be nominated with the people that have made football what it is, you know. And I just like to take the time to congratulate the guys who did go in.
It was great. It was great to see Jan Stenerud. He's the first kicker, and obviously I'm pulling a little bit, but I know you're going to be in there. Congratulations on getting nominated. Now let's go back to the field. Again, it's 12-10 to the Buffalo Bills over the New York Giants. Enjoy the second half.
Pace that he's on. He has been a force in the first half, and it is not a warm tonight. It's dropping into the 60s, but a little humid and he has been going 110%. He has been handled fairly effectively by Jumbo Elliott when they have been going one-on-one. It's when Bruce Smith has been moving from side to side. We saw the big hit that Leon Seals got on Hostetler when Smith tied up a couple guys. But this guy, Jumbo Elliott, is asserting himself as one of the great offensive linemen in the National Football League. Bill Parcells emphatically says he's the best I ever had. And I think we're going to see more and more of Buffalo moving Bruce Smith to the other side of the line to match up with Riesenberg rather than taking on Jumbo.
Phil Simms, what's his future? Well, Bill Parcells will address that eventually. But when they go to training camp next year, Simms is the grizzled veteran, and we'll see if Hostetler is wearing a Super Bowl championship ring.
Dan and I talked to him right before the game. Now, there's no question in our minds he's going to continue to play this game.
Buffalo to kick it off. Norwood puts it in the air. It's taken at the 9-yard line by Dave Meggett. And he comes back out to the 25. Carwell Gardner, the rookie, makes the tackle. And the Giants down by 2 begin from there. One other number as Hostetler comes in that you saw on the graphic with the halftime stats. No turnovers for either team. The Giants this year, with only 14 turnovers in the entire regular season, became the first team in the history of the NFL to average less than 1 turnover a game.
Plus 20 on that turnover ratio. That's pretty remarkable.
First and 10 from the 25-yard line. That's Mark Ingram in motion. Fake to Anderson. Hostetler rolls right, gets it away, and it's incomplete. It was looking for a cross.
At the risk of belaboring the point, again, we see Cornelius Bennett involved in a rollout by Jeff Hostetler. But again, the rollout was to the right side. They are playing right into the hands of the Buffalo defense, expecting Hostetler to come that way. You see the bump on cross, and then Bennett comes upfield and puts the pressure and forces a bad throw. But Hostetler is going to have to roll left, even if it's into the face of Bruce Smith, just to keep the defense honest.
In the defensive attack, if he is a right-handed passer and can, of course, release it much more quickly rolling right.
But every right-handed quarterback still has to be able to roll left.
2nd and 10, and this play is dead. Contact before the snap. Jerry Seaman refereeing his last game. He becomes the NFL's supervisor of officials, replacing the retiring Art McNally next season.
False start prior to the snap. Number 61 offense. Still 2nd down.
Bob Cratch.
Cratch, who got a lot of work last week in the 49er game. And release of Eric Moore over the right side, and one of Bill Parcells' favorites. Could have a long run here with the Giants. Good guard, the 61 Bob Cratch.
2nd and 15 at the 20-yard line. Just the start of the 3rd quarter. Bills leading 12-10. Meggett and Anderson in the backfield. Ingram in motion. Rolling left now, dumps it off from Meggett. Out past the 25, tripped up at the 29. Nate Odom makes the stop. Going to be about 6 yards short of the first.
Good effective screen, though, and it does a couple of things. The Bills have to play it as a pass. They have to continue that all-out rush. And somewhere along the line, things are going to get a little fatigued. And here Bruce Smith again powering into Jumbo Elliott. He moves him into the inside, and Meggett with a couple of blockers in front of him gets it back over to the original line of scrimmage. But it'll be 3rd and long.
Make it 3rd and 8 now because they've respotted back at the 27. That's where his knee initially hit, at the 27-yard line. Hostetler from the shotgun hits Meggett. Meggett breaks the tackle and turns it into a 1st down.
If you haven't been watching this young man all season long, he's been doing it all year long. Little man, 180 pounds, but so much of that weight in the thighs and in the legs, and he can kick 2 tackles as he does right here. He breaks the tackle of Clifford Hicks, who tries to come up, spins out of that number 27, knows where that 1st down is, and gets it.
11-yard pickup. 1st down at the 37-yard line. They call Meggett's number again. Twists his way out to the 42-yard line, and Ray Bentley makes the tackle there.
These are the things that Al touched on earlier in the game that Rodney Hampton would be doing had he not suffered that broken fibula. And he's unavailable, so Meggett is not only doing double duty, he's in there. Wrigley, not on a specialty team, he's in there where ordinarily a Hampton would be, or an Otis Anderson. Remarkable numbers for this season.
61 touches this year, rushing and receiving, the majority on third down. Pretty much a third down specialist, but again, in the absence of Hampton, the role is expanded. 2nd and 5, and Anderson plows forward before Bentley and Seals push him back. He will be about a yard short of the first down as they'll spot it just outside the 46-yard line.
Dan over here shaking his head. And he is remarkable, isn't he? Otis Anderson, 34 years old, and he did that much on his own.
Well, it's just the type of football that exacts a toll from a defensive team. This bruising, punishing style of football. And, of course, Otis Anderson at 225. He looks closer to 240 when you see him. He is bigger than he looks, but this is the type of football that wears a team out.
3 tight ends, 3rd and 1. Anderson again. Anderson into Buffalo territory, and Anderson all the way to the 30-yard line. Is he 34 or 24?
He is both, but he doesn't act like it. What a huge hole to the left side. The 3 tight end offense, a tremendous double team by Bavaro and by Howard Cross. And look at Otis Anderson throw the uppercut. Mark Kelso comes in to make the hit. Look at him wind up. I mean, that is a punishing job of running. Who says just because you're an offensive player that you have to take the shot?
Anderson and Carthen in the backfield. That was a 24-yard pickup. It's first down at the 29. Maurice Carthen down to the 25-yard line for a gain of 4. Jeff Wright makes the tackle.
I mean, even that run by Carthen, did you notice where he was first hit by 2 Buffalo defenders, but where he ends up on the ground was a good 2 to 3 yards farther down the field. It doesn't look like much, but I want you to watch. Where's the first contact? He's outside Smith. There's the hit, but watch where Maurice Carthen hits the ground. Another 3 yards. That adds up. That ends up translating into points.
Second and 5 from the 24-yard line. Cross in motion. Meggett. First down. Flag down.
Now, Mark Bavaro was the block at the point of attack.
And maybe the holder, too.
He might have been the holder. He's isolated on Cornelius Bennett, the outside linebacker to that side. A lot of pressure on a tight end to have to make that single block.
Number 89 offense, still second down.
I mean, the whole play depends upon one block. There's Bavaro. He gets a little bit to the outside on Bennett. He gets his hands out there. This will give us the definitive look. You can see that left hand. That's going to bring the flag. I mean, he really didn't grab him and pull him to the ground, but that is a legitimate call. And outstanding rushing by the Giants. Over 6 yards per carry tonight.
League average this year was 4.1 per rush. And no team has averaged 6 against Buffalo this season. Hostetler steps up and turns a little something out of nothing as he takes it to the 32-yard line. Wright and Pike in on the tackle, and it's going to be third down and about 13 as the Giants have controlled the ball here at the outset of the third quarter. Typical Giant drive. They've taken close to 6 minutes off the clock already.
And where they are right now, one would not expect that Bill Parcells would let Matt Barr go for the field goal.
No, they would have a 50-yarder from where they are right now. That is
46,
beyond
47 for Matt, particularly off the grass, because you'll lose just a little bit off that.
Third and 13 at the 32-yard line. Hostetler throwing. It's caught by Ingram. He has to get to the 19 for a first down, and he does.
Oh. Every now and then in a football game rather, you can look back to a play and it might set the tone for everything that happens after that. If the Giants win this game, they may look back to this catch and run by Mark Ingram.
You won't say any better, Dan. He turns into a receiver, into a runner, and he knows exactly where the first down yardage is, and he gets it.
We talked to Hostetler the other day and asked him if he felt more comfortable with any one receiver over the others. He said, Ingram, he works harder for me. He did there on 3rd and 13. It's first down at the 18-yard line. Anderson to the 14. It'll be 2nd and 6. Mike Lodish makes the tackle in a skirmish.
Well, Otis reacting to Mark Kelso. The free safety of the Bills coming in and hitting him well after the whistle. Ray Bentley is also there. Both of these guys took a shot at Anderson when he was already on the ground.
This drive started at the 25, and talk about shortening the game. 7:47 remaining here in the third quarter, and there is the struggle inside the 15 and the late hit.
Well, Anderson's got a legitimate beef. I mean, he's down on the ground, and Ray Bentley and Kelso both come in and give him a pretty good pop.
2nd and 6 at the 14-yard line. Meggett taken down by Bennett. Cornelius Bennett.
He's such a fine athlete. He reacted, moved off the block, and Meggett, with all of his quickness, could not get away from him.
Well, again, it's Bavaro working on Bennett, but you can't coach this type of athletic ability. You can tell a guy to do something, you can point him in the right direction, but some guys just get there quicker than others. And Cornelius Bennett might get there quicker than any outside linebacker in the game. That is not the product of great coaching.
3rd and a short 4 from inside the 12. 6:49 to go, third quarter, 12-10. Buffalo. Hostetler, a little dump off to Cross. First down at the 3.
There's your roll, Dan, and look what happened. The Buffalo Bills are overplaying Hostetler's bootlegs to the right.
And the big man, Smith, was standing on the line of scrimmage then. No pressure into the backfield.
Yeah, you know, they fear Bruce Smith and rolling away from him into Bennett. I'd start shying away from Bennett and doing exactly this. You see that Bruce Smith didn't get near the pressure on the quarterback that Bennett has been getting when they've been rolling the other direction.
1st and goal at the 3. 13th play of the drive coming up. The Bills have not had the ball in the second half. Anderson to the 1. And remember, the Giants closed the first half with an 87-yard drive. There's the time remaining in the third quarter. Buffalo has not had the football. A 9-minute drive.
The kind of drive that makes football coaches just light up with glee or chew their gum even faster than normal. This is a tremendous drive by the New York Giants. This is a championship drive. Look at that, over 9 minutes. This is a Super Bowl drive.
2nd and goal at the 1. Touchdown Anderson.
That is one of the great drives in Super Bowl history. That was physical domination.
Blocked by Carthen, just enough for Anderson. Think back to the 3rd and long of Ingram. He spun and twisted for that first.
9:29. Dan talking about it being one of the greatest drives in Super Bowl history. It was the longest drive in the 25-year history of the Super Bowl. 9 minutes, 29 seconds.
And a coach will say, give me the longest drive in history and have it end in a touchdown. And I'll tell you, it's the best drive in Super Bowl history.
Well, I'm dabbling in the garden trade, and I make a tidy sum. But some of my deliveries have a very nasty hum. I'm not shifting this lot single-handed, so I collared Chaz and Alfie. Boys, might I be so bold? If you shift this muck onto this truck, I'll get you into liquid gold. That's 500 big ones, they said. Now, to start a liquid gold account, it took £500. But now it's only 25. The amount has come right down. Silly me, I forgot to tell the lads. Well, they weren't amused when they heard the news. I quickly won them round. You get a really top-class savings account for only £25. I always come up smelling the roses. Well, the boys were very grateful, and they thanked me with a smile. We're very pleased we're with the leads. We can really make a pile.
For more details of liquid gold, phone free on 0800 700 900.
I just can't believe that what you're saying is true. I'm just trying to find a way to make it clear and get through to you. I got to tell you how good it really is. Through sun and rain, some things never change. You know you can't top the taste of a twirl. Cadbury's chocolate. You can't top the taste of a twirl.